Hi everybody, I'm Lance with Lance Lures, and today I'm going to show you how to make the best handline on earth. This is going to be a 3-footer, so these are the supplies you're going to need. We have a 3-foot segment of very strong speargun band. These are two 9/0 barrel swivels. This is a 500-pound snap swivel, a piece of 1/4-inch shrink seal tubing. And this is a 3/16 stainless carabiner. This is actually a castrator tool for castrating cattle. I'll show you how to use that later. These are some caps that go on the bottom of like a sliding or like a folding chair. A couple carabiners, a lighter, super glue, 303. This stuff's critical. You gotta have that. A couple of lengths of 500-pound braid, 100 feet of Type 3 550 paracord, American made. Everything's American made. And this is Amsteel Blue. I think that's 1,500-pound test. You need a Sharpie and a knife. All right, step one. We're gonna pack the Amsteel Blue into the inner lumen of this speargun band. Remember, that's custom speargun band, so the inner lumen here is thicker than what you would normally see. So this stuff is the strongest fiber known to man, and it's able to kind of crumple like this. So this speargun band has a stretch ratio. You can stretch it up to like a 1:6 ratio, but the main limiting factor is how much of this line you can pack into it. So let me show you how it's done. So you're going to take some 303 and spray it down on the lumen. We'll get it all around in there. So we'll take this end. I like to stretch it all out first. Start packing that in, and it should slide in pretty easily because we have it lubricated with the 303. And there it is, popping out the other end. And I actually already tied on one of these swivels, but I'm going to show you what knot I use. So we have our 9/0 barrel swivel. These are, I think they're 900 pound, actually I think they're 1,200-pound test. So you're gonna take this and we're just gonna tie a uni knot with 3 loops. So back on itself like this. Actually, you see that little mark right there? That's where I marked out 9 feet because we're trying to do a 1:3 stretch ratio here. So if you wanna tie it exactly right there, then you take and pinch on a uni knot at least. You take and pinch right there. And now we're going to do our 3 loops. Pull it up, cinch it down, pull it up, cinch it down. I was off by a little bit, but it's all good. So that's what your knot should look like. Nice tight, can't get it to focus directly on there, but oh well. Alright, so we have our little tag end here. We want to cut that off after you cinch it nice and tight. And you can leave a little bit of a tag, but make sure that puppy is not going to move. So now we'll take and pop that end over. It's super windy up here in Pukalani. I don't know if you can hear that, but we're gonna pop that in. In fact, I like to step on the end and then pull it up through. So you're about right there. So now we're gonna take that 500-pound line and wrap it around right here using a speargun band cinch knot. I forget what it's called. Constrictor knot. That's what we're going to use. Alright, constrictor knot is going to go around right here. So I just tied a little loop in this piece of 500-pound braid. This is 24 inches. So now we're going to take, and there may be some better videos online on how to do this, but I wrap around the top, crossing over, and then coming under this little tag end. And then you see how there's kind of an X right there? You gotta go under both sides of the X. This can be a little tricky. Alright, so it's a little loose there, but that's okay. That's what it should look like. And now cinch it up a little bit. So now take that other tag end and put a loop in that end as well. Okay, so that's where these carabiners come in. Clip those loops onto the carabiners. I put a loop around this one so that I can stand on it and then pull from the other side, and you'll see what happens here. You see how tight that is? That's not tight enough. You have to stand on it and really pull, because this can be really dangerous. When you're out there pulling, I'll show you later, if this knot fails, you could break your hand, so be careful. See how tight that is? Okay, so now we're going to put super glue up in here and right there. Give it 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then I'll take it to the next step. Alright, so I'm out here at my truck trailer hitch for this part. This is how we get the line into the rubber. This is definitely the most dangerous part, so if you're not comfortable with it, don't attempt it. I forgot to mention, you do need gloves, and you actually need really serious gloves. So this is a falconry glove, because you need that kind of shock absorbency in case something does happen. It's a lot of power. So this has about 100 to 120 pounds of resistance. So just to give you an idea, like the kick of a 12 gauge shotgun is only about 20 pounds. So it's got some serious recoil. All right, so we're gonna take and attach this to the little safety loop. Actually, I'm also gonna attach these little extra guys just for safety. These little loops that we were using earlier, I'm going to attach those to the carabiner as well. Never actually had this pop since I've been doing that, but you never know, can't be too safe. 303, you gotta have it. Take the end right here, and we're going to spray a couple sprays into the end of the lumen here. 1, 2. Alright, so this acts as both a lubricant and a conditioner, so it'll keep your handline fresh for a long time. And I'm going to let that all drain down. Okay, so at this point I will put on the falconry glove. I'm just using a right-handed one. And we're going to segmentally start packing the line in here. So start up here by this cinch. And as I pull back, the line is being sucked into this side. Alright, so I just pulled this 3-foot length of rubber. I just pulled 9 feet of Amsteel into it. So that's how you get all the line into the rubber. Pretty cool. Sean Zinner showed me that back in 2017. So now I just used the plastic on my tailgate to punch this the rest of the way in. So that it looks like that, and we'll take it inside for the next step. Alright, so off camera, I just did the other constrictor knot. So that's where we are. Now we're going to take these little chair foot covers. They're silicone. I don't know. So I'm just going to take a knife, pop a hole right in the center of both of them. All right, and this is where the castrator tool comes in. So you take and pop it on the end, just like that. And this is what the castrator tool does. It stretches. So I'm going to stretch it over the end here. Pop that through, and then bada bing, bada boom. There we go. So now this is protected a little bit better. So this, when you have latex under pressure, it tends to crack over time. So if you have it covered with something and lubricated with 303, it shouldn't crack as quickly. It will, I mean, it's gonna have a limited lifespan, but that's gonna make it last the longest. And another thing you can do is when you're not using it, go ahead and store your handline or whatever latex spear gun bands you have, store them in the freezer. That will prolong the life for years. So there we go. So now we are ready to put on the paracord. Now we're ready to put on the paracord. So I'm just gonna do the snap swivel side first. So this is where the piece of 1/4 inch heat shrink tubing comes in. So you just take and run that on first, and then take your swivel. This is the snap swivel, 500 pound, and tie it on using a uni knot. You want to leave a little bit of a tag, nothing too crazy, something like that. And you can always just cut it if you leave too long of one. I'll show you what that tag is for. Because we want this thing, this is the side that's cruising through the water at 10 knots or whatever you're cruising at. So we want to have this not flapping in the water. We want it to be covered. So I'll take and run it all up in like that. And you can use a lighter, but I have a heat gun, so that's what I'm going to use. You got to plug it in first though. Critical step. There we go. Shouldn't take too long. See it shrinking on. At this point I'll cinch it down a little extra. And finish the deed. So now this will be nice and streamlined as it's cruising through the water. There we go. Nice ball bearing swivel. Okay, so the other end we'll tie to this. Grab that. This side you could use the heat shrink tubing, but there's really no reason to, so I typically don't. Take like this, another uni knot. If you don't know the uni knot, you need to learn it. If you're a fisherman, it's like the most useful knot there is. So there are better videos to teach you. Cinch that on, just like that. We'll put the carabiner on this side, and we have a handline. So this is the strongest handline on earth by far. This is 1,500 pound test on the inside. I guess it's limited mostly by these 1,200 pound swivels, but you also have 550 pound paracord, and this is really the weakest link. But as you're fishing, you're not going to use leader or hooks that's stronger than that. I'd be surprised if you did. You can if you want. But usually it would be the hook that would fail. So good luck, catch some fish. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed learning how to make a Hawaiian hand line. Again, this was just the 100-footer, so 3-foot rubber. I also make a 50-footer that has 1 foot of rubber, still the 1-to-3 stretch ratio, so you still get about 100 pounds resistance, but these are for a little bigger fish and higher speed trolling. So if you want to buy them on my website, this is how they look. It also comes with some sacrificial rubber bands, but a little informational tag here tells you what to do. You can also scan the QR code and it'll take you straight to the FAQ section. So good luck. I hope you guys make your own or buy mine. Either way, doesn't matter to me. Go catch some fish.